AM Podcast Network presentation, Real One.
I listen to it at night, in the morning, at work, at school, everywhere I go.
Merry Christmas and welcome to this week's edition of Blue Collar Review. With you, as always, is me, Ryan. No Josh this week. We're having just you'll be listening to this, it comes out on Christmas. So we tried to just get an episode together. Time restraints, work, all of that stuff kind of prevents both of us getting together this week and recording. That being said, though, I really wanted to get an episode out for everybody out there that listens to us every week. So no Josh, you'll have to bear with me, it's just me this week. So I'll try to hold it together the best I can, try not to ruin this episode, try not to make a piece of garbage. So stick with me, hope I don't ruin this. But I'll dive into it head first with the recommendation for the week. And it's one that actually a lot of people have seen, but I just want to recommend people rewatch it and get the value from it again. And I'm talking about Die Hard with Bruce Willis. Of course, it's a Christmas movie, and if you disagree, then you're a liar, and you don't believe in the real meaning of Christmas, which is Bruce Willis murdering terrorists. That's the best way to think about that. So, I believe it was 1988. Let me see if I can get that pulled up real quick, but I was doing I rewatched it, of course, this week, so it's not Christmas without Bruce Willis throwing Hans Gruber out of a window. I mean, that's the best way to start Christmas week, so that's what I did this week. Started watching Die Hard. Had Bruce Willis murdering everybody, getting shot, actually. But it's one of those movies that's actually kind of rare because the hero of the movie gets hurt. And he actually gets shot, he gets injured. You actually get to see the hero in pain and almost lose, pretty much. So it's very different in that aspect, but it's such a good movie. It's got some of the most famous quotes in movie history, and it's just a good movie. I love it. Love to watch it. It is rated R. It's got language, violence, blood, all that good stuff. Everything a growing boy needs, and especially in a Christmas movie. I mean, what else could you ask for? But that's my recommendation for the week, and I wanted to do a Christmas movie, and that's my favorite Christmas movie. Granted, some people will disagree, but I don't. That's my favorite Christmas movie. Best way to look at it. I guess the big review for the week, everything is still Star Wars. Everything's around Star Wars, so not a whole lot came out that I really even care to talk about because it's Star Wars. And I really want to go see that again before I even go see anything else in the theater. But I still recommend you go see Star Wars, 100%. Go watch it. It's amazing. The J.J. Abrams did a great job, pulled that together, and it was awesome. But I guess the review for the week, I did watch F is for Family, which is a Netflix original series. It's a comedy, it's animated, but it's got Bill Burr as the father, which I personally love Bill Burr. I think he's hilarious. Some people may disagree, and I mean, sorry, but he's very funny in this, and he brings his exact, if you've seen his stand-up, that's exactly how he is in this show. And it kind of caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting it to, but they do say fuck a few times in the actual cartoon, which threw me off because in Family Guy, you watch stuff like that, it's bleeped out and you don't think about it. Well, in this, I just didn't think about it, and I would hear it and almost forget about it and then realize, oh, they just said that. But it is Netflix, so they can say whatever they want to and get away with it because they rule everything right now. They've got probably one of the biggest memberships on the planet. So, I mean, F is for Family, which thinking about it now, I should have been more in tune to the fact that they would drop the F-bomb in the title. I don't know how I missed that. But Justin Long actually plays the son as well, so it's got a couple big name people in it, and I don't know, it kind of caught me off guard. It takes place, I'm looking it up right now, it takes place in the 1970s. I don't think it gives an exact year. And Bill Burr is a blue-collar worker. Hey, I mean, that right there, you get points on ours. But he's a blue-collar worker. He works at the airport. But then he finally gets promoted into a management-type position right as the employees are about to go on strike. So it really is kind of awkward for him because he was a hard worker and a people's guy, but now he's in that position to where it may not he may be hated by everyone else just because of the job he's been given. He's got to, right as the workers are about to go on strike, he is put smack in the middle of it. And he's got the stereotypical family of the oldest son who is a rebel. He listens to metal music and goth music, and of course his dad doesn't get it, but they freaking go back and forth. They cuss each other out a few times, and there's two other kids as well. There's a younger brother and a younger daughter, or a younger sister, I guess. And Justin Long plays a good part too, or his character does, because it actually shows him standing up for his brother, and he actually, even though he's a dick to him, he still stands up and helps him, which, granted, I was an only child. Me and Josh both were, so I can't exactly relate with that, but that's what you always see and hope for in a sibling, is even if they fight with you and you can't stand them sometimes, they'll stand up for you when you need it, and that's your family. They're there to get your back. So it's one of those nice things about it, and you see that, and it's kind of a wholesome family from the 70s, where the neighbor even starts cussing out Bill Burr and then calls a kid a name that he just pretty much got done cussing out, but he still stands up and threatens to beat the shit out of the neighbor who just called his kid a name, because that's his kid. Nobody calls him a name but him. And a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of people have that, or maybe have grown up with that. I know I did. That's the way I grew up. My dad may have screamed and yelled at me, but then 5 minutes later, somebody else would scream or yell at me. He was going to go off on him and then yell at me again the exact same way they did, but I'm his kid. Nobody else is going to do it. Just the way I grew up. I grew up in the South. I don't know if maybe that's a Southern thing, but hey, that's what happens. So that was what I thought about that for the week. So I would say check it out. It's on Netflix, so obviously if you've got Netflix, you can just watch it for free, but it's entertaining and it's pretty funny. It's animated, so you'll have to get past that. I know my wife is not a big fan of animated things that are for adults. I still don't understand that. Can't figure it out. Don't know why she doesn't. She hates Family Guy, hates Bob's Burgers, hates it all. I don't know why. I think they're hilarious. I love them. They're entertaining. They're fun. But that's mine. That's my look at it. I love it, and so I think it's fun. But like I said, Bill Burr being the dad, that gives it a whole nother level of funny as well. So go check it out. It's on Netflix. It's worth watching. That's what I'd say. So that was the big review. I mean, that's the only new thing really to come out that I've watched. And I know I did actually watch Mission Impossible 5 this week. We've talked about it twice, and I still hadn't seen it until this week. I watched it online, so didn't see it in a theater or anything. Didn't see it on a big screen. I actually watched it on an iPad, I believe. So it was exactly what you would expect from a Mission Impossible. It's actually, according to everybody else, Spectre, but with a little bit more fun. You have the main character, which is Tom Cruise. You have the side characters, and of course one of them is Simon Pegg, who's the comic relief. So you get he's your comic relief of the movie, Simon, which he does a good job because it's Simon Pegg. You can't hate him. And I'm still trying to figure out what the hell he played in Star Wars. I'm guessing it was the guy that was ran the salvage yard, but I still can't figure that out. I guess I need to go back and look. But Ethan Hunt is now going on the run. He's being chased by the government, trying to figure out who pretty much set him up to get burned by the government. Simon Pegg is the one friend who sticks up with him. And then, of course, Ving Rhames is pulled back into it. We hadn't seen him. I don't think he was in the last one. Jeremy Renner is in it again. He tries to help. So it pulls all the characters from some of the past ones, the ones that aren't dead at least. So you have that to roll on. And it's, like I say, it's exactly what you'd expect from Mission Impossible. It's Tom Cruise doing things that nobody else physically could do, and stuff you really don't care for somebody to do, but he does. So that's the way that goes. So that was all. Like I said, this is going to be a short episode. Josh isn't here. I just wanted to get something out for the week. So I just got a little bit of news, and then I'll just wrap up and tell everybody Merry Christmas, because this is coming out on Christmas. So, hey, if you're listening to this, Merry Christmas to you. If it's already past Christmas, hope you had a good one. Thanks for listening to the show on time. But the news for the week, J.J. Abrams has read the script for Episode 8 of Star Wars, which is kind of odd that it's already written, and I actually thought they had already finished it, and I figured they'd already start filming because they've said every 2 years is when a new episode is going to come out. So J.J. Abrams said that it's, I guess, finishing now, and he's read it and he loves it, which gives me a shitload of hope for the future because J.J. Abrams did an awesome job on episode 7, and I'm hoping that his approval on episode 8 means a good thing, but it's still a different director. He's not directing it. I don't know if he even has a part, except he just read it. The director is Rian Johnson, or Rian Johnson. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's R-I-A-N. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it, so I'll just guess. But he's saying that he's read it. He likes it. Hey, we don't have a clue where it's going. I think I read somewhere that said they don't even know where it's going, so they're not sure of how they're going to end it yet. Which I guess leaves 8 as just a bridge, which technically if you rewatch Empire Strikes Back, that only is a bridge movie. But in combination with 4 and 6, it's an amazing movie, and it's one of the best in the series, but if it was just a standalone movie, there's so many open holes in it that get, of course, answered in 6, but that one has a bunch of open holes and open ends that it leaves you with, so technically as a standalone movie, it's on its own. And it wouldn't be that good as it's just a standalone movie. So, I don't know. Hopefully 8's just as good as The Empire. We can only hope. That's the way I'm feeling about it. 7 was really good. They did a great job. They give you that feel of the original trilogy. And I'm hoping 8 does the same thing. They go in the same direction that episode 7 went, and they give you that good feeling. And you can leave the theater happy. That's just what I'm hoping for. So that we have that to look forward to. Marvel is in the talks with Kurt Russell to play in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Now, what role? Still don't have a clue. And he's even confirmed that he's in the talks for it. But the guy hasn't even seen the first movie. We live in 2015. Everybody watches every single Marvel movie that comes out, which we clearly confirmed whenever Ant-Man had made over $400-something million off of Ant-Man when people had no idea who that even was. So, Kurt Russell is in the talks for it. I guess just the fact that it's a Marvel movie, he's willing to at least talk to him and put his name on it because he did the same thing with Furious 7. He played a really odd role in a very over-the-top movie, but hey, it's a very high-grossing movie, and his name's on it, so I'm sure he's plenty happy with that. I'm guessing he's going for the same thing with Guardians, because if he gets on a Fast and Furious movie and a Marvel movie within a 2-year span, hey, you're doing pretty well, and you're being pretty successful in Hollywood. So, I guess we get to look forward to Kurt Russell in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Like I said, didn't have a whole lot of news, but the last bit I had was Mark Ruffalo has actually talked about a solo Hulk movie and said it is not looking promising at all. And we've talked about that before because we both love the Hulk. That's our favorite character, but it's not looking promising. I think both. There's only been 2. Both Hulk movies that have came out, which was Hulk with Eric Bana, which is a piece of shit, and The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, which was actually really good. Both of those did not do well at all in the box office, and they weren't very successful. So I guess Marvel just doesn't want to take the risk at losing the money, but with Marvel Studios having it now, I think as long as they make it, people are going to pay to go see it, and it's going to be more successful than they realize is, I think, the way it's going. I mean, I don't think they thought Ant-Man would make $400 million whenever it was Ant-Man. I thought maybe 150 would be a successful run for it, but 400. Everybody will go see anything that's got the word Marvel Studios in front of it. Guardians of the Galaxy is another perfect example of that. Awesome movie, but who had ever heard of Star-Lord before that movie came out? I mean, it's one of those things where Marvel's just, they've got a hold on everything superhero right now. And maybe Batman versus Superman is going to put up a fight and maybe draw some people back to DC, but I don't know. I don't see that happening to the same extent that Marvel's taken over. I think DC is out of the game as far as movies goes, but for TV, DC's winning that fight. And I know we've talked about this. I'm talking the same points we've talked before. Marvel is winning in the movies, and DC's winning on TV. And that's just simple. You can watch it. Marvel, they do an awesome job, make good movies. DC makes good TV shows, but their movies just don't hold up nearly as well. So, I don't know. That's just my take on it. So, and that was, once again, that's all I had for the week. I just wanted to get something out, get some content out for people. Make this one just for the fans. We wanted to make sure to get an episode out. I talked to Josh. So, he's working, I know, Christmas Eve, and he worked today. I was off today and tomorrow, but I work Christmas, so our schedules did not line up at all this week. It was a nightmare. If we would have tried to schedule it, it would have just been terrible. So, I don't know. But like I said, that's about it. So, I guess I'll go ahead and wrap up, and go follow us on Twitter at BCR Podcast, and go check us out on ampodcastnetwork.com. Download us on iTunes for free, which if you're listening to this, chances are you knew about that at least. So go check us out on Twitter, tweet us, let us know what you think, and hey, tweet us some movies and we'll try to review them. I know that this, I can't remember the I can't even pronounce it right now because I don't know. It's one of the other shows on the AM Podcast Network, wants us to review Krampus, and I really want to, but I think Star Wars kicked it out of the theater already, which is kind of funny, but I don't know if I can actually go see it at a theater because I think Star Wars ruined that because it takes up probably 8 theaters out of the 14 that we have. So I'll try to get that one watched and get it reviewed, but we'll see what happens. So that about wraps it up for the week, and as always, I'm Ryan. Can't say Josh is here, but I'm Ryan, so go watch some movies.